guys down for a tour.
Good morning people, it's Monday and I've just marked that out on a piece of steel and I am bending it to shape. I'm using some slightly thicker steel. Well, I thought I was using some slightly thicker steel. I'm actually using some steel that's quite a lot thicker, but it'll be strong. So there you go. So I'm going to carry on folding this, and this will be number one of the replacing the rotten bits. I'll bring you back when I've got it folded and fitting. Bye now. Right folks, there's piece number one fitting, more or less. In fact, fitting close enough for me to get a weld down there to fix its position, and then a weld down there and a weld down there so that it's fixed. And then, in fact, if I can get a couple of tacks on there and a tack on there and a tack on that corner, we can bend the rest to fit onto that angle iron, and then bolt the angle iron back onto there and see about fitting the rest. I don't know about that. I don't know whether I should cut that box section off and swage it perhaps and do a small overlap rather than a large one. I've got it fitting pretty exactly up there, as you can see by those holes, but I might just leave that until I've got most of it on. Right, time for a cup of tea, and then cut the other one. Although I might tack that in place first. Let's see what the other one looks like. This is the other one. Yeah, we could probably do both of them, couldn't we? Let's crack on and do it. Right, I'm gonna have a cup of tea. When I've had a cup of tea, I'll bring you back and you can see the rest going up. Bye now. Right people, 3 o'clock, and we've got a fit. We've got a fit. We're almost ready for a tack up. In fact, I think we are. If I can tack these pieces onto here, right, we can then take the whole plot off, weld it, and keep trying it back on until we're finished. I'll take those two out. I'll weld this to there and I'll weld that to there, and then we'll bolt it back to the mudguard, square it up. But those are fitting. Those are a fit. Well pleased. So I think the thing to do is fetch the welder out here and tack those up. As you can see, they're pretty bloody good. A tap and they'll just weld. So it's time to take them off again and clean all the edges up, ready for welding. I think we'll punch some holes in there. Put a hole in there, we'll put a hole in there, we'll put a hole in there. Just so we can get some welds on. Right, but it's going well. As you can see, it is going very well indeed. Let me just get the light. Let's just get the big light. Then I'll be able to see better. Sorry to take you on a ridiculous, dangerous tour across the workshop. There we are, that's better. Let's see what I'm doing now. Right, I'm 7 o'clock tea, and I'm going to take that off, clean all that up, ready for welding, punch some holes in it, and I'll bring you back. Right, bye now. There we are folks. We've bitten the bullet and we've tacked it up. I've punched that one ready for spot welds. I haven't punched this one for spot welds, but I'm going to do it when it's off. But there you go, she's tacked up and she's looking good. So I need to fetch that corner, those two out to meet there, fetch that one out to meet there, tap that in a bit to give us plenty of clearance around the bolt head, and then we're ready to take this off now and weld it properly and then put it back on and check it fits. Right, onward. And there we go, folks. I've brought the welding table out, which is all welded up, and very strong it is too. So now we can offer it back onto the mudguard and see if it fits. I'm sure it will do. Right, I'll bring you back in a minute. And there she is, folks. Welded up, fitted in position, and pretty much good, I think. Right, so tomorrow it's a matter of welding the whole plot up. So I've got quite a bit of cleaning up to do, and then I can clamp it in place, take the wing off the tractor and weld the whole bloody lot up. And then on we go. Right, well, it's about it's over the Rubicon now. It's 4:37, so I'm just going to spray some weld through primer onto those joints there, and then I'm going to call it a day. So I'll see you all not tomorrow, because tomorrow my new bolide goes in for its MOT. Keep your fingers crossed for me. Right, and so it'll be Wednesday. So I'll see you all on Wednesday. Bye now. All zinc primed with the weld through primer, and look at this. Look at this. Right, I've just put those two pairs of mole grips onto there, and look how much more rigid that is. Isn't that amazing? Right, so Wednesday it's weld, 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 and guess what? I've run out of bloody gas. Well, I've very nearly run out of gas. So I'm going to have a word with my gas men and see if I can't pop up and get a bottle. But I'm very close. Is that going to move? No, it isn't. I would say, to all intents and purposes, that bottle's empty. And I've had the bloody regulator turned up too high, that's why. Right, okay, that's it for today. Tomorrow it's MOT time. I'll see you all Wednesday. Bye now. Good afternoon, people, it's Wednesday. The car passed its MOT with flying colours. That's why I'm here. Because if not, I would have been in panic mode now trying to get it fixed, but there you go, she passed. Right, I have got second mudguard in place, and I'm spending most of today making templates and new pieces of tin until the man comes with my MIG bottle, because I've run out of gas. What a sad sight that is. So I need to get my TIG bottle off as well and order a new one of those, because they take a few days to come. I'm thinking of looking for a more local supplier for TIG bottles, because it seems a bit ridiculous having to get them brought in by a carrier. There is a place at Scarborough that I could just drive up to. In fact, it's only like 20 minutes away really, and it'd be a lot more convenient. But right, onward. We're going to make this pattern the same as we did the other side. I've got it bolted on. I had just enough gas to get some tacks on that to fix it in place. I've got it bolted on in the right place. I've just put that under there to give us a little bit of lift so it doesn't drop right to the back of the slots on the bolts. So next job is cardboard template. So that's what I'm going to do now. Make a pattern and cut some tin out. Right, I'll bring you back when I've done it. Bye now. Right folks, templating first step. I've put the fold in the bottom where it goes, and then I've marked round the card in to get the shape that I want to cut. I'm going to allow about 3/8 of an inch all the way around bigger, to allow for the fact that I'm going to swage this joint round here, and then I've marked under here to get the profile of this piece that sticks out this corner. I'm going to take this off to about there, because that's where the rotten metal ends. This is no good really, so I'm just going to take it off to about there and then weld the piece in. So I shall mark that on there as well, so that I know to leave that piece in and not cut it out, which would be tragic. Right, my MIG gas has just arrived, so I'm welding again, thank goodness. Right, it's lunchtime. I'm going to have a cup of tea and something to eat, and then I'm going to crack on. So what I'll probably do is I'll finish that now I'm on with that, I'll finish that template, then I'll come back to this side and you can see a bit better now. We'll come back to this side and I'll carry on welding this up, and then this side will be finished. I've got them to make yet, but they're neither here nor there. Right, lunchtime, cup of tea, bye now. Right folks, just going up to 3 o'clock, and we've got the first one tacked, just to put the curve back into the wing and give it a bit more rigidity. Now what I'm going to do is get this one in position and do the same with that one, and then I can take the whole lot off. I think that's welded, that's welded. I can take the whole lot off then, and I can tap those edges to get them close. I'll probably put a couple of welds on, maybe there and there, and then tap those edges in to get them fitting. But first I'm going to put this one on, and a couple of tacks there just to get the curve held, and then we can take it off, stick it on the bench and weld the whole lot. Right, on we go. As you can gather, I've just come off templating now. Now we've got the gas back on, I'm going to finish that one first. Right, onward. Evening folks, Wednesday, 4:54, and the main part of one mudguard is done. I haven't ground it up yet, but it's welded. One sure way of telling if your welding's any good, listen. You can play tunes on it, it's that tight. And that's put the strength back into the mudguard, so we don't need those angle lines anymore. He said, choking. Once again, we've seen the difference. With the weld-through primer, you weld across it, makes no difference. There's no bubbling, the paint doesn't bubble off, there's no smoke or anything. As soon as you hit the ordinary zinc grey primer, it smokes, it goes black, and it just about chokes you with fumes. So there you go, I've just got that hole to patch, and then a clean up, and there'll probably be some final bits to weld, but basically it's done. The hard bit's done. The other bit will probably, the other mudguard will be easier, because the second one always goes faster than the first one. So I've got these holes to weld up as well. That's where the cab's been bolted on, and these are where the angle line was bolted on, so I've got those to weld up. And there's a couple of little places where we've burnt through, but other than that, the other sides, I've just had a lift it up. The other side will clean up okay, a little smear of filler in places, but it's now one solid unit. I've got to do some more welding around there, but other than that, that's gone pretty well. It's put the strength back into it, that's the main thing. Put the strength back into it. Right, that's it for Wednesday folks. Tomorrow's Thursday. I shall be back tomorrow, and it'll be a sort of short day, because I'm taking my mum to an appointment at 3:30, so I shall be finishing about 3 o'clock. So, till tomorrow, bye bye now. Right folks, I've completed the welding on the other side. Made some little bright patches and just popped them over all the holes so we can weld them up from the other side. I've completed welding the repair piece in. I've just got that to do, I think, and I think that's it. Maybe a wee bit more on there. I'll just check that out before I go. No, that's fine. That's fine. That one's just wants a flat off, doesn't it, with the grinder. But right, we're going to make a piece for here now, and then that's this mudguard finished, or at least as far as the welding's concerned. Right, I'll get on with that. It's Thursday, by the way. It's Thursday, and I'm going early today at 3 o'clock. So I better crack on, haven't I? Bye now. Folks, I'm just going to show you what I've done here. Found a piece of metal the right size, put it underneath and drew round it. Mark the holes, right, and so we can see where the holes go. Next, I'm going to fit it on this side, I'm going to put it on there, I'm going to bolt it on with the 3 bolt holes, then I'm going to shape it to fit the mudguard with a hammer and dolly, and then I'm going to clean all the paint off it and weld round it like that, because some of this undoubtedly is thin and is going to have to come off. But now I've got the patch in position and fitting, I can see how much I can take off. I can take all the rotten edges off and still have plenty of metal to weld to. Because what happens when you try to weld, when you leave rotten metal on and you try to weld to it, is you blow holes through it. And when you blow holes through it, you end up literally struggling or putting little tiny bits of metal in to help fill the holes up again, and it really doesn't make a good job. You're far better off to cut as much of the rot away as you can back to thicker metal, so that you're not blowing holes through. Right, there it is. And that's how I fitted it. Right, bring you back in a minute. Of course, what I didn't mention, I'm on the other wing now, just to show you what's going on, is that it has to have this square hole in it as well, so that pillar, which the rear light mounts on, can stick up like that. So I'm going to have to measure from the holes to get the position of the square pillar. But it looks like I can measure from that hole to that corner, from that hole to that corner, and from that hole to that straight, and get it done that way. So that's the next job, finding the position of the square hole. Right, back in a minute. And there we are, folks, all welded round and ready for grinding off. If you can see there, I tacked it round on the inside just to hold it in place, and then I came back, sorry about zooming you around all over the place, then I came back on this side and welded it more or less all round, but in continuous blobs, if you like, rather than try to run a bead on it, because if you try and run a bead on stuff like that, you're more likely to burn through. Doesn't always happen, but there was quite a lot of rust behind this. I cut most of it off, but you still get the odd pick where if you catch it just too much, you'll burn through it. So right, that's in position. Now with a careful bit of grinding and a bit of beating, panel beating, that should disappear. So I'm just going to weld these holes up where the cab was bolted on, and where the angle irons were, because the boxes had rotted out. And I think that's all the welding on this mudguard finished. But we'll have to. And that one's something doing with it. Right, let's crack on with that, and then I'm going to have some lunch. Right, off we go. Bye now. Right, folks, it's 2 o'clock. I've just realised I'm taking my mum at 3, so I don't have time for lunch. But look at that, absolutely rock solid. And I haven't even put those other two bolts in it. I'll tighten that one up, but that's it. That's based on that angle iron fitting there. That is absolutely solid. And I've done most of the cleaning up. That just wants a thin skin of filler over it, as does that. I've been over it with the body file. If you're doing repairs like this and you haven't got one of these, get one. Right? You can do a similar job with a surf arm, if you know what a surf arm is. It's like a scraper plane thing. But this for going over your welds and making sure that all the metal's below the surface. You can see the scrapes it leaves there. It just marks any high spots that you can then grind off. But it makes a hell of a difference. Hell of a difference. So, that's one mudguard done. And that's it for today. Because what I'm going to do now is have a bloody good tidy up and a sweep up. And then I'm going to go and take my mum. So, I'll see you all tomorrow for Friday's fun and games. Bye now, chaps. Thursday, 2:30. And just a parting impression shot. That's all filed down now and more or less ready for filling. But I've swept up. I have to go. I'm going to go early and have a cup of tea with my mum before we go. But that's bloody good. I'm pleased with that. That's really stiff again. Back to full strength. So tomorrow it'll be this one. It'll be this one. I'm not going to fill that until I've got the other one ready for filling, and then we don't waste filler. We can gob it up all at once, because I always mix too much. Of course, I'll probably still always mix too much. Never mind. That's life. Right, see you all tomorrow, folks. Bye now. Impressive. Good lunchtime, people. It's Friday. It's just gone 12 o'clock. Here it is. I've perfected my pattern, which is a little bit out, but never mind. I can soon alter it. And I've cut my tin. The only problem I've got at the moment is that hole lines up there, but that one doesn't come far enough out. So I do have to modify a bit here anyway to get that, pick that curve up. I'm just going to go and have a look at the other side, see how I did it round there. No, we can't see, can we? No, it stayed on. It did stay on. Right, okay. So I need to modify it there. Just take that piece back a bit. But that's it. We've made the piece of steel. We've found a piece of steel the same size, which was the I think it was the front cover of an old gas-fired boiler, but there you go. That's where I get all my metal from. Domestic appliances, washing machines, tumble dryers, anything like that that's got steel sides in it. I just take them off, chuck the rest away, save any useful parts, and then use the steel. And I've been doing that for donkey's years. At one time there was cars running around with bits of washing machine welded into them all over East Yorkshire, but there you go. Right, I shall crack on with this and I'll bring you back when it's fitting properly. Bye now. Right folks, Friday 2 o'clock and it's fitting. I've more or less got it trimmed to fit in the swages. I just need to do a few modifications. I need to take the paint off the metal, of course, the repair panel, before I start to tack it in. But basically, it's a fit. It's a fit. I've had to just tweak it a bit, slide it. See, those bolts there are slots, so it's obviously designed to be fitted, and you can slide it backwards and forwards on them. So I've had to slide it just to make it line up exactly. It might want to go a little bit more that way. In other words, repair panel stays where it is, but the mudguard itself moves a little bit more that way. But we're talking fractions now. Basically, we've got a really good fit. So I'm going to have some lunch, and then I'm going to start and clean the paint off, finish the swaging. There's just a little bit where I've missed the swage, and then start tacking. So I should get that tacked in place this afternoon. And that should be it for today. Right, bring you back when I've done it. Bye now. Right folks, 3:15 Friday, and we're ready to start tacking up. So it's welder in position, helmet on, and off we go. That's a good fit. I had a nightmare 5 minutes where I thought I'd cocked it up, but then I realised that it had shifted at this end. But that's in the middle of the slots now, it's all set up. So off we go with the welder. Bring you back when I've tacked it up. Bye now. Here we are folks, all tacked up. take it off now and weld it proper. Right, I've even got those 2 bolts in there holding it in position, so she's fixed now. That's the most difficult bit, getting that bit in the right position. Once you've done that, these are fairly easy, except this mudguard's a bit more rotten than the other one was, so there's quite a bit of patching to do, but no matter, we will get there. Right, I'm going to take this wing off now, and I'm going to bring the bench round here, put it on the bench, and I'm going to start the weld up. And I shall go till 4 o'clock, and then I shall have a tidy up. And I shall bid you all farewell before that, don't worry, so you will be coming back, whether you want to or not. Bye now. And there she is, folks, tacked in, welded in, and now I've just got to roll this piece round. The edge of this mudguard is wired with a spring steel wire, very hard, very strong, so I've got to now roll this piece round the steel wire and just tack it in place, and it all adds stiffness. Right, I'll crack on with that and I'll bring you back when it's done. And I've just noticed that this piece has come a bit loose here, so that needs welding again, but I did that was welded with the last gasp of gas in the bottle. In fact, I think a lot of it was welded with no gas in the bottle, to be honest. Right, bring you back in a minute when it's all done. So that's it, folks. Friday, nearly 4:45, and we've got it done. I've re-welded that piece on there, which I welded with virtually no gas, probably with no gas. That's fitted and finished welding. Most of the welding's on this side because I shall sand it off this side and fill the gap, and the piece of metal will virtually disappear into the original plate. So that's good. So, having looked at these patterns that I made for the other side, it looks like they're going to be able to be reused for this side, because the pieces on this side, the box sections, are actually a bit longer than the ones on the other side. So it looks like we're not going to have to make those again. So there you go. Good, eh? That saves quite a lot of work. So I've tidied up. I've chucked all the tools on the topper because I shall only get them out again on Monday, so there's no point in putting them away. I'm just going to tidy the bench down a bit till 5 o'clock. Bench in a mess. And then that's it for this week. So thank you all for watching. Thanks to the new subscribers for subscribing. Remember, if you haven't subscribed, get your subscription in. It doesn't cost anything. And please, if you like the videos, click the like button, because that makes a big difference as well. Apparently, I've just learned that that's what YouTube judges you on. If you get lots of likes, you get more promotion. So please click the like button. I'm knackered, I'm gasping. I've been running around the workshop like a mad thing, sweeping up. Right, thanks folks. See you all next week. Bye now.